And you can't. The first thing I want to say is, when you don't find the path that you're supposed to follow, you follow any path. Sometimes you'll have a rude awakening, whether it's religion or whatever. Stay in religion for so many years and you find out that's not doing us any good, due to the fact it's something that we follow by way of tradition. In the same way with following people, when you don't research the knowledge for yourselves. Every bit of information that you get, that you hear, there should be something within the subject, whether it's a word or two, maybe a sentence, that will cause you to actually research it. And online, social media, you have a lot of followers. You don't know who these people are. And you really don't even know the content creator. But I decided I wanted to read this to you right here on Hiram Abiff. Because yesterday, and like I say, my heart is not broken, I'm not hurt. Yesterday, I went into a chat, and as the person was, I guess he had an AI, he was into AI, and he had devised a way to express, I guess you'd say, the history of Hiram Abiff. Well, I mentioned the cause of his death. And when I just mentioned the cause of his death, I was put in time out. I didn't say anything disrespectful to anybody, anything. But you have content creators, for the most part, when they call themselves teaching someone something, you find out that a lot of the teachings and that the following is pretty much pseudo, you know? And in a point in your life, you have to discern information, whether you need to research it or you need to take it for face value. But I stand in front of you whole. Some of you content creators, you never know what they look like, really, whatever the case may be. They might be actually heavy set, fat, real skinny, whatever. But sometimes I think that some of these content creators need to get up and like take a stick and like point at charts and things like this, show themselves, be a little bit more mobile. Hiram Abiff was my question that I entered into AI chat. AI chat, like I said, it'll bring you information concise. Hiram Abiff was murdered because of jealousy and envy. Because see, when I used to hang with a couple of Muslim guys back in Orlando, Florida, I went to a couple of meetings and I listened to some very profound speakers. I've been to Savior's Day once. And what I learned just over the last couple of years, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan actually mentioned information about Hiram Abiff. Nobody really had heard of him. But Hiram Abiff had a lot to do, supposedly, with the building of King Solomon's temple. He didn't just build it himself, he did have builders. And Hiram Abiff was said to be a master builder. But I'm going to read this right here. Hiram Abiff was murdered because of jealousy and envy. The response from AI. The story of Hiram Abiff is one of the most central and enduring allegories. An enduring allegory, okay? Enduring allegories in Masonic tradition. While the details are symbolic rather than historical, the theme of jealousy and envy are exactly what drive the narrative to its tragic conclusion. And I was put out on the channel just because I mentioned that. Watch who you follow. Don't follow me. Research what I say. And come back and get some more. In the Masonic legend, Hiram Abiff was the chief architect of King Solomon's temple. Now, it could be true. We don't know. We weren't there. Okay? He was murdered not for his gold or his status, but because of the covetousness of others. As little as I knew about the story, here's the affirmation right here. The architecture of the tragedy. The legend typically involved three fellow craftsmen, workers, okay, who grew resentful of Hiram's knowledge and position. That involves jealousy and envy. Here's how those emotions manifest. Now, I can't see you on the screen because I'm back. I'm showing you the majority of me, okay? The desire for the master's word, the attack, jubilo, and jubilo wanted the secret password and signs of a master mason so they could travel to other countries and receive higher wages. Envy of rank. They were impatient and felt entitled to the secret Hiram possessed, despite not having done the work or reached the level of character required to earn them. Okay? The confrontation. Hiram was approached at the east, south, and north gate of the temple. Each time he refused to betray his trust, stating that the secrets could only be revealed through patience and industry. Symbolic meaning. In a broader sense, the murder of Hiram Abiff served as a moral lesson for those who study it. Integrity versus greed. Integrity versus greed. Okay? Hiram represents the unshaken fidelity of a person who would rather die than betray their principles. 2, the destructive power of vice. The three ruffians, thugs, symbolize the vices that destroy society. Ignorance, fanaticism, and tyranny, often fueled by envy. 3, the lesson of silence. It teaches that true knowledge cannot be stolen or taken by force. It must be earned through personal growth. I hope you guys can hear me because my last video, the last one I did, it was silent. I didn't have this on. And I got a new phone, so it picks up pretty good. So either way, you should be getting this. Hopefully, if it's silent, I'll try it again because like I said, I just want to read. I like to read information. I really don't like to go from the top of my head, even if I read something and try to quote it or speak. I just like information. Like I say, here's the receipt right here. Okay? Since I mentioned this in the second continence of jealousy, it wants to know, do I want to look into how these themes apply to leadership? Or perhaps you're interested in how this legend compares to other historical and mythological architect stories. Well, you guys can go that far. I just want to go this far. Because like I say, like Jim Jones, I'm from the Bay Area. I have a friend whose children and the children's mother got caught up in Jim Jones' issue. They're not here today. California has been a place where people find an avenue that really leads them nowhere. And we know for the most part today, I hate to say it, there's two politics. There's politics. There's even politics in religion. Islam, Baptist, Jehovah's Witness. People end up following but really never know themselves because they're afraid. And then people always have to find a group of people to click up with, which I'm a sociable person, okay? But I don't like following people all the time. Like right now I'm in the makers union. I'm getting ready to do some creating and designing. That's my life. My life is creating and designing. That's what the universe loves. Some people will never find their path, and the path is very long. The light is always down there. You're always walking toward that light because they're distracted by trying to fit in. Don't try to fit in anywhere. It's either for you or either it's not. Remember one thing, you are an individual. You have to, they say heaven or hell. When you go to heaven or you go to hell, you go for yourself, by yourself, based on how you represented yourself, for what that matters and for what that means. Anyway, you know who it is. One box, 1 of 1. Peace. I'm out. See what you guys said. Hello to everybody who sees it. Hello to everybody. This message was held in review. Okay, review the message. I mean, I got that. Show the message. Whatever it says. Whole bunch of whatever the heck that is right there. Anyway, peace out, you guys.